comic books made more sense. You know it is fictitious without pretense.
Hello, today we're going to take a look at Transformers the Movie Issue 2 in a 3-issue limited series from Marvel Comics in 1986. Here is a scene depicting Quintessa, where, the planet Quintessa, where Grimlock and Kup and Hot Rod are fighting a bunch of Sharkticons. And these are the toy ones. They never made those alligator ones until way later on. But they're the first ones that they encounter. So here's an M&M's commercial back here. So this is number 2 in a 3-issue limited series. I love Marvel movie adaptations. And of course, Marvel had a lot to do with Transformers and the cartoon and everything, and of course the movie itself as well. This is probably based on an early draft. As we saw with issue 1, and I looked at issue 1, there are a lot of similarities. There are some differences that are kind of interesting. So we'll go through this. So at this point, in issue 1, Act 1 has already happened, and it looks like these 3 issues are in Act 1, 2, and 3. Megatron and Optimus have been defeated in battle against each other. The Matrix of Leadership has gone on to Ultra Magnus, and Megatron and some other Decepticon cronies have encountered Unicron and have been recreated as Scourge, Cyclonus, and Galvatron. So here's a great panel recapping what the heck has happened. This has been adapted by Ralph Macchio, not that Ralph Macchio, of course. Breakdowns by Don Perlin, finishes by Ian Aiken and Brian Garvey, lettered by Janice Chang, colored by Nell Yomtov, and edited by Bob Budiansky, of course, and editor-in-chief is Jim Shooter. Bob Budiansky had a lot to do with Transformers and Transformers lore, and the first few issues as well, and naming a lot of the characters, Megatron, for example, etc. He doesn't get as much credit as Larry Hama does for G.I. Joe, and that's likely because Bob Budiansky didn't see the whole run of Transformers through like Larry Hama did. But he's integral to Transformers. Deserves all the credit in the world for that. So here they're going to go. Now, one thing that Unicron specified was that Cyclonus was going to be Galvatron's ship. And I think that's depicted maybe once in the movie, but for the most part, they're all in one big ship that's provided by Unicron in the film. So here's the coronation of Starscream. It looks a lot like the movie here. And here, Galvatron onboards Cyclonus, and it's like, who dares interrupt my coronation? I do, Starscream. I, who was Megatron, I now have become Galvatron. So there's no Galvatron, here's a hint, right? And I have the power to destroy you utterly, usurper, and so he just destroys him. Now, this is the way it's depicted in the comic here. He does fall apart, so there you go. He's dead. He comes back as a ghost in season 3, but that's a whole other thing. Now, does anyone else doubt the power of Galvatron? Will anyone else challenge me? And they're like, all hail Galvatron, ruler of the Decepticons, all hail. So meanwhile, Unicron is circling the first moon of Cybertron, and he wants to destroy it. And it looks like Cliff Jumper and some other dude are here. See, I don't know where that thing came from, Jazz. Oh, okay. So I guess that's Jazz, but miscolored. But I suggest you contact Autobot City on Earth and fill them in. So it's Jazz and Cliff Jumper. I think that's Cliff Jumper because that's what he's drawn as, but it's all weird lighting, I guess. Coloring. So, and that's Jazz. talk to me, Earth. We got a situation out here. So here's Ultra Magnus. Now that our city has been largely rebuilt after the recent Decepticon attack, that was quick. I may turn my attention to Hello Earth, this is Jazz. A ginormous, weird-looking planet just showed up in the suburbs of Cybertron. When I picture the suburbs of Cybertron, I picture like the picket fences and stuff. And it's attacking, right? So, got to blast free if we can, or we're finished, so they're trying to escape. And Unicron sucks them right in. Here's another Lazer Tag ad. This is the one I'm more familiar with, where they depict like guys competing against each other, and then this guy gets shot and whatever, and he blows on his like light gun or whatever. So here are Galvatron and his cronies here. How dare Unicron, Cybertron and all its moons are mine. It's like the movie. But remember, we belong to him. I belong to nobody, Scourge. And then he gets like punished by Unicron remotely, I guess. And he's like, yes, I will obey Unicron. Decepticons to Earth. So there you go. In the cartoon, every so often they showed little buzzing going on in Galvatron's head, and I always thought that was Unicron trying to get through to Galvatron, but can't because Unicron is like out of commission. And other interpretations are he's just crazy, and that's like what's going on in his head. I don't know. Season 3 is interesting. I'll say that. So here, Unicron's attacking another moon that has Spike and Bumblebee on it, just like the movie. And Ultra Magnus is making demands and stuff, but the Decepticons are going to attack. And so, just like the film, they're attacking and everyone kind of retreats into their own ships. Everybody strap yourselves in. We're taking off. That's Hot Rod with Kup. And here's Ultra Magnus, Springer, and Perceptor. And so they're all leaving, and there's a whole dogfight going on. Springer, remember what you did off Beta 4? I remember it well, and they just like destroy an asteroid or something. Here's the whole Captain Crunch Soggies saga. In the commercials, they had commercials that continued into each other. So you saw one installment, and they advertised Captain Crunch and stuff, but it was like these characters called the Soggies that wanted to sog the cereal, and there was like this dude that led them. I can't remember his name, Sogmaster. And they actually had toys and things related to this campaign that you could get in Captain Crunch cereal. Like you could get these Soggies, which were toys that were sticky, stretchy things that you could whip at something, and it would retrieve like a pencil for you or something like that. I had one. Here they teamed up with Spider-Man for this promotion here. What do you get? You get $1 million, I guess. But anyways, I never participated in this. But like this was, I don't think they used this again after the 80s. I could be mistaken, but like if you're of a certain age, this is what you associate with Captain Crunch. There was a whole thing. At one point, Captain Crunch had his own like ship, and he had to fight the Soggies on their planet and stuff. There was a whole thing. They were trying to depict the cartoon toy franchises of the time. But honestly, I wanted all of these characters as toys, and they never did that. And like Captain Crunch Spaceship and all that, they never did that. So anyway, that's a Super 7 project they can do. Anyhow, back to the dogfight between the Decepticons and Autobots. Right, so they... So I think, I can't tell by these illustrations, but in the movie they get rid of like 2/3 of the ship, and the Decepticons destroy that, thinking that is the ship, but it's not. So here, Hot Rod is sparring with this thing, just like the movie, and he's going to get back at this robot, but the robot doesn't say time out, time out, time out like he does in the in the movie. The ship is shaking, and there's all sorts of like damage and stuff. And meanwhile, on a separate ship with Ultra Magnus, Kup, raise your force field at once. We've been found. The Decepticons are armed with moleculon missiles. I feel like they're on the same ship in this comic. Did I miss something? That's so weird. Anyhow, young Autobot Hot Rod pilots one of the ships. Yeah, no, they're on separate ships. Got any ideas? I'm trying to remember how we beat the Shriek Bats of Dramacon. Oh yeah, we inversed polarities. Yeah, that's what they do in the movie. Anyways, it crash land on Quintessa. And here are the Dinobots. I was like, are the Dinobots not with them? They are. So here, the Decepticons destroy what they think is the Autobot ship, and these guys have it detached. So it's RC, Ultra Magnus, and Daniel, and Springer. So they go to the Jungion planet. This is the pose he does, Ultra Magnus does in the movie. Why did I ask? Why? He asked Perceptor a dumb question, and Perceptor did his C-3PO thing. In language we can understand, Perceptor. Yes, I think I can. He's asking, how can you locate a place to set down for repairs? So here are the Dinobots and Hot Rod and Kup on Quintessa. And so they don't have the squid fight and all that stuff. They just splash in water. But they do encounter the Sharkticons. And they're not separated from the Decepticons either. And here is the first comic appearance, I guess, of the Quintessons. Looking pretty good, man. Pretty accurate to the movie and the cartoons. So they're taken prisoner, and here's the survivor of that other planet. I like the art here. It's got a lot of mood lighting and stuff. I believe I can help you. My name is Krannix. This is the world of the savage Sharkticons who brought you here, and their cruel masters, the Quintessons, for whom this planet is named. So they hunt down those who try to escape the wrath of Unicron. Guilty or innocent, the sentence is always the same death. Unicron, who's Unicron? So he explains what Unicron is. And they refer you to the first issue of Transformers the movie. Here's Marvel Super Mart. Yeah, you can go to these different comic stores that have Marvel, but who the hell wouldn't have Marvel? And here's one of these coin ads. I never knew if these were like scams or something. And here's more of like a kind of a want ad looking thing for comics. These guys are cool. I don't remember these guards from anything else. They look awesome, and it's a cool design. I don't know where that came from. That's him. He's the one we want. So, anyways, they get Krannix and they judge him guilty or innocent. We find the defendant innocent, and so the gangplank gives way. Krannix goes into the pool of Sharkticons. The Sharkticons eat him to death. So there you go. Please, no. That's a lot of suffering, man. Not the end I'd wish for, lad. These awesome looking guards again. Make these into, maybe they have made them into figures, I don't know. Anyways, they can't transform because of these bonds. And they have the same exchange that they do in the movie. I have nothing but contempt for this court. Then the verdict is innocent. Death. So they go into the Sharkticon pool. And Grimlock is with them. That's weird. I think I don't see the other dinosaurs there, but we'll see how they work Wheelie in, or if they do at all. Maybe Wheelie was a late addition by the time they were making this comic. So there's no pool here. They're just shooting them in, like, they're shooting the Sharkticons in, like, just this dry platform. And they're, they all transform. Grimlock is like, me want to race too. I guess this was the original idea of this. There's some comic book conventions in the mid-'80s. Houston, Anaheim, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Manhattan. There's Ticketron who's involved. Here's Escape from Tenopia. These were neat books. It's a shame that they have black and white ads for this, because the art was exquisite. I mean, it still looks good, but the color illustrations were great on those covers. So here they're destroying these Sharkticons. And then there's more coming. And look, we see Dinobot brothers. So finally the other Dinobots come. Wow, you guys are sight for sore Autobot visual sensors. But where did you come from? After the shuttle broke apart, we fell not too far away from where you did. In the same muck, we saw the Sharkticons come and take you away, and we followed out of sight. Yeah, notice that the other Dinobots don't have the me this, me that language of Grimlock. They kind of seem smart. It's a good thinking sludge, so that's sludge. I don't see any Wheelie, so I guess that wasn't supposed to be a thing, like early on in the process. So here's more Sharkticons, and so me Grimlock want to munch metal. There you go. That's from the movie. Here's a Bullpen Bulletins and a checklist of all the Marvel products at the time. The Marvel Comics, of course, Marvel Magazine, Epic Comics, Star Comics, New Universe, which was a separate universe from Marvel that Jim Shooter wanted. It didn't last very long. I think it was like two years. And a Daredevil graphic novel. So here the Dinobots and Kup and Hot Rod fight all these Sharkticons. There's some strange designs here. I guess this is an early design with like antenna. And me Grimlock say execute them, Quintessons now. So like the movie, they do that. They form a sort of like a ant mound and go up there. So here's Wheelie out of nowhere. So he's like, you get ship if I get trip. He has an Autobot symbol anyways, just like the movie. Well, little fella, you're on and we're off. So they board a ship. They haven't shown that yet. I want to see what it looks like. So here, Unicron comes. I kind of like this outfit for Spike. The one that they ended up with was just a meager looking white like armor thing. It was whatever. It's kind of plain looking. Here this looks kind of like not even Iron Man-ish. I know it has the color scheme of that, but it looks interesting. You know, it's got the meshing here and it's got the red and the helmet. Looks really neat. That should have been what it was in the movie, but you know, I'm not complaining. And here the cliffhanger is Unicron destroys the moon that they're in, that Spike and Bumblebee are in. So there you go. Here's a subscription commercial. Here's a Yamaha commercial. You know, a helmet looking at a Yamaha keyboard. You're a kid and you can't drive. Like, what do you care, right? Attention, mere mortals. Dungeons and Dragons Set 5 Immortals Rules. That's cool. Introducing the adventure of a lifetime to Dungeons and Dragons Set 5 Immortal Rules. So there you go there, and great illustration here. And that is issue 2 of Transformers the Movie adaptation, number 2 in a 3-issue limited series. And I'll be looking at issue 3 shortly. Take care.